Welcome to Ecomm Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we believe ads are not bad, ignorance is expensive, and the American dream is alive and well on the internet today. It is Friday, May 8th, 2026 in the year of our Lord. We're coming to you live and in living color from a beautiful undisclosed location in the Austin, Texas hills. We're brought to you by Incense, Seguno, Postscript, Rocked, Aftersell, and Axon by AppLovin. And we have got a jam-packed show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. The state of Texas is suing Shein for the most toxic clothes ever produced on planet Earth. We are going to dive into it. The Northbeam weather report has been released, and April was tough for some people, although the last week pretty good as far as paid media is concerned. And basically everybody is growing except for one specific segment, anybody who's spending less than $50K per month on paid ads. The Pope has also released some heavenly drip, and there are some rumors out there, maybe perhaps, that this was purposeful product placement on Nike's behalf. In lieu of all the hype coming for the World Cup, we're going to be joined by Sean Frank, CEO of Ridge, Mike Beckham, CEO of Simple Modern, and Connor Mennig, CEO and co-founder of Frozen One, the best new ice cream you have never had, but you will very soon. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get in here. Woo!
Let's go. What a day, huh?
What a day. What a day. It's Friday, and are you not excited? Are you not entertained to be here on this day of days?
What an unbelievably stacked lineup we have, and some unbelievable stories too.
We do, and I fear that your video is tracking a little slow, my friend. I fear that it is. I think that we should bring him back out and bring him back in again. Do you think so, Jack?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's bring him out and bring him back in. And as we do so, I am about to introduce our very first hot job of the week. But before Colin comes back, come on back to us, Colin, and let's see how this one does here. This is always a favorite segment of mine because we're highlighting the best opportunities in e-commerce on the interwebs. It is a favorite segment. Jack, you do the overlay. I shall play the aforementioned incredible sound effect. We were talking about the one and only hot jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Caliente. It is that time of the week. Keep in mind, I have found two roles. Colin has found two roles, and Jack shall decide who has identified the best one. The first one comes to us via David Protein, creative director for one of the Time 100's most influential brands in 2026. I want to tell you about this a little bit. Rare opportunity to join a breakout food brand at a pivotal stage of growth, led by CEO Peter Rahal, co-founder and former CEO of RXBAR. Okay, focused on high protein foods. This role is going to report to him specifically. It is going to report to the CEO. It is in NYC, New York City. Okay, you do need to have some experience for this one. Looking for 8 years of experience, substantial required PTO. Kind of a nice detail here. Going to be making 200,000 plus per year. Incredible opportunity for somebody to get in. I think if they paid probably 10 times more, they could get Orange on. But a great role for the future Orange on to arise and declare themselves upon the interwebs. Your thoughts on this?
This is a pretty good one. This is an interesting role.
Pretty good?
This is pretty good. This is an
Stop
interesting
it.
role.
Stop
This is an interesting company, and I like this role. I'm not going to say I love this role.
You really sandbagged that one, big boy.
I'm saying I like it. I'm not truly fired up about it.
I think the reason that you are underselling this is because the roles that I have gotten here are so good. Because they are, okay? And I'm giving the punchline away. I'm actually going to double up on David Protein. Incredible opportunities here. Number one creative director for the only brand that's ever existed that has made protein sexy, bringing protein, making it sexy again. Next role for you, Colin Doherty.
I think this is an unbelievable role. I mean, Lacoste is a treasured heritage brand.
It is.
You have the renaissance of some really incredible times right now where this is basically going to be your entry level role into New York City. It's going to be 70 to 75,000. You know, you're looking for 1 to 2 years experience. This is an early career role, but this is one of those companies where you get in there and you kind of make a name for yourself. You can either be a part of a legacy generational brand, or you can also use this as a really, really good kind of quote unquote resume builder to then leapfrog into something massive.
It's a great early career opportunity.
Absolutely.
And I will not sandbag this because it is. It is.
I'm saying it's great.
Get in at Lacoste, you wear the gaiter, you can put, you can use the gaiter forever afterward on your resume. It is 1 to 2 years experience. Okay.
Yeah.
Get your foot in the door. Going to be a great resume builder for thereafter. You are going to be covering digital marketing and digital merchandising. You're going to be helping everywhere. So you need to be prepared to help everywhere and do what you can to deserve the gaiter upon your breast and upon your resume, because it is an excellent opportunity, but an initial role. You probably need to live with 5 roommates. That's okay. That's okay. For your first experience, totally okay.
No, but you should be doing that.
Exactly.
If you're early in your career, this is going to be one of those things. You're living with 5 of your roommates.
Yeah.
But you're going to be bumping up to guys like Djokovic here. It's going to be crazy. It's the stories you're going to have from this type of heritage brand, just from working there for 1 or 2 years. If you decide that, it's going to be unreal.
I'm with it.
Let's go.
5 roommates, 200 square foot apartment. Make it happen. It is worth it. It is worth it. Next role, David Protein, marketing associate apparel. Okay. And I want to underline this apparel part. Did you know that David Protein is getting into apparel? Yes, they are, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Do you want to be involved on the breaking forth upon the internet of their apparel? Yes, you do. NYC on site. Okay, 115 to 130 per year. Okay, significant. 115 to 130. You're going to work closely with the CEO. It doesn't say report directly, but work closely with the CEO. Also, you need 2 years experience. I bring this up because we just covered a role previously here just 15 seconds ago where you also needed like 2 years experience. 2 years experience, substantial required PTO again. But you're looking at making 130 in the same place, NYC, and you're going to be bringing David Protein apparel to the market. I think this is an incredible opportunity. Very excited about this one. Your thoughts?
I don't like the apparel angle of it.
Come on.
I don't like them not making the main thing the main thing. They need to be focusing on all of the protein they're doing. If this was marketing associate for ice cream, I would say this is the best opportunity around. But the fact that you're kind of pushing and going apparel, which will be a little bit outside of what they're doing right now, and you're going to be working closely with the CEO who's going to have some strong feelings about the brand direction moving forward, I don't like it.
Jack, I think Colin's being a little unfair right now, and I'm just putting that out there. I think he's being a little unfair. Okay, we're talking early career, same place, making double the money, doing something unique. Okay,
it is unique.
for a very influential brand, according to a little news publication called Time Magazine. I'm just saying, I think there's more. I think there's more here. I think there's something here. Okay, next role for you, Colin Doherty.
Let's go. An absolute crusher of a role. Rhodes Senior e-commerce product manager. You get to hang out in Beverly Hills, California. It's a hybrid role, and then it's a 110 to 140. And you get to create and own the e-commerce product roadmap. Pretty bananas. And it's an unbelievable brand. I mean, Hailey Bieber, you get to work with some of the best celebrities, influencers in the entire space. This is the coolest brand in the world right now. And I think they just passed $1 billion for their valuation. So, I mean, you're on an absolute explosion rocket ship.
It is a great place to work. I would highly recommend it. Just a couple of notes here. I'm just throwing it in here. I'm just putting it into the pot.
Yeah.
Probably going to be some heavy traffic. Got to deal with. I'm just saying.
Yeah. For sure.
Heavy traffic. Probably can't live in Beverly Hills. You know,
there's New York City.
Yeah, I probably can't live in Beverly Hills. So, you're going to have to navigate some traffic there. I'm not sure the public transit as good as what New York City has in place. I'm just, I'm just bringing it up. I'm just putting it in the mixer here, because Jack particularly might be drawn to road. So I'm just bringing it up. Okay. For all fair consideration. Now, Jack, we've covered 2 excellent roles with David Protein, a great legacy brand opportunity that Colin has brought out with Lacoste.
Yes.
Get the gator on your polo. And then Hailey Bieber, I think, very exciting. Although one has to wonder, how long is she going to be around, really? I mean, she's already sold and exited and all the things. I'm bringing it up. Heavy traffic also. Jack, we need you to go ahead and place your votes.
Let's go.
No, Jack.
Let's go, Jack. Let's go.
Stop it,
Pick and road. Come on.
Jack, you did that on purpose. You did that on purpose. And I'll just say, less experience needed while making the same amount of money in New York City being a marketing associate for apparel, David Protein. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. But congrats to you. Congrats to you, Colin Doherty. You are winner yet again for Hot Jobs, one of our favorite segments of the week. And I have great news. That Sean Frank is here. He is coming to us. Sean Frank, for those of you who don't know, CEO of Ridge. He is widely acclaimed as having the best beard in e-commerce on D2C X, which I don't take offense to, but I'd at least like to be in the conversation for. I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. He is going to talk to us today about all of the things happening and why he is the least doomer person in existence when it comes to Ecomm and selling widgets upon the interwebs. But before he comes in here, ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about Postscript. Focus is an amazing thing, is it not? Yes, it is. When one focuses, you get outsized results. That's why when people make the switch from whatever SMS provider they have that does 6 or 7 things at one time, they make the switch to Postscript, who only does SMS. You see an average plus 22% increase in revenue. Now, I have to confess, I did not make that much money. I made a whole lot more. We went from making very little money on SMS to being a top 1% account on their entire platform inside of a year. How do we do that? What's the secret? I just did what they said. And what they're saying is that the conversational report is out, direct-to-consumer.co/the conversational report, and you are leaving money on the table when your customers text you back. The good news is their AI shopper can have one-to-one conversations with all of your customers, brand appropriate, brand voice, brand knowledge, etc. All of the things. Go to Postscript, talk to them today. Tell them Colin and I sent you. Many thanks for Postscript being part of the show. Now, we must bring Southern California's favorite son into this show right now. He is the CEO of Ridge. One has heard that he is, I have heard, I think that he has a new child among us and with us. And I think that is the case. I think that is the case. but many things to come from him. We want to talk to him about why this is the best time in existence to be in e-commerce, selling things on the internet. We need to welcome inside the show Sean Frank, CEO of Ridge. Get in here. Get inside this show.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for having me. I love the show, love the format. I do have a child. He's not directly with us right now. He's upstairs sleeping.
That's okay. It's even better. It's even better. It's easier for daddy to work when a baby has a rest. That's how I think it works.
Yeah, and I didn't know we were like a pair, like a duo thing. I thought you were just booking me. If you want to book him, there's a separate appearance fee.
Oh, okay, separate appearance fee. That's totally fair. Totally fair. Our people will contact his people, and we'll see if we can work that out. Sean, we appreciate you making the time and joining us, sir. I haven't talked to you in many years. I believe we were having oysters and we were downtown. No. We were in West Austin with Taylor Holiday. It was the first time I ever spoke with you, but we're glad to have you here now. And brother, I want to ask you particularly, why are you so bullish on Ecomm D2C in 2026? Because I feel the same way. We have covered it often on this show, and we feel like there's a kind of a kindred spirit animal, so to speak here, Sean. In 2026, why are you so bullish on Ecomm, my friend?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna give you guys an NBA analogy, right? So, there's this debate if like Michael Jordan or LeBron James is the best player of all time, right? And you can debate that ad nauseum, but LeBron has survived a lot of different eras of the game, right? The game today is way different than the game was in the 90s, and everyone will say it's a way harder game. You got 7-foot freaks coming in from Europe. You got like people shooting 3-pointers, and it's kind of like Michael Jordan versus any player in the 70s. It's like, of course he's better. He can dunk. Like, they didn't do that back then. And the e-commerce analogy is the game today is so different that if you're currently playing it, you're just so much better than anyone who played it 3 years ago, 5 years ago. You survived tariffs, you survived COVID, you survived banks blowing up, financial crises, wars. We're in our second major war affecting gas prices, and we're still selling stuff on Meta.
That's true.
So, if you survived all of that and you're still operating today, you're just way better than anyone before. A lot of the trash has been washed like down the stream, and you just have great operators. People are still buying more stuff than ever before. People are spending more time on screens than ever before. The tools are easier to use. With AI, you just ask it to do anything for you. You can have landing pages up in a day. So if you're down to lock in and grind, I mean, we'll see more billion-dollar brands built this year than the past 5 years before.
Whoa.
Ooh. That's some spice right there.
Bar.
And Sean, you recently tweeted out that you dropped basically $3 million of your own money through testing AppLovin. Can you talk about that? Because that is not a small amount of money. I mean, when people say, hey, I'm going to do a test, it's going to be, a $5,000, $10,000 test.
Significant.
You dropped $3 million on this for testing. Can you talk us through that and your rationale behind this?
Yeah. Okay. Sponsored segment. We're talking about AppLovin. You guys are really working it in.
Sponsor of the show. Sean.
Let me just say, I love Postscript. Rocked Aftersell.
Yes.
I don't know what Seguno is, but I'm sure I love it.
I agree.
Okay. So here is the AppLovin journey. So we got into the beta in probably Q4 2024. So this was before they really had e-commerce advertisers, and I think it was like you had to spend $5,000, and the channel just ripped. We ended up spending more money on AppLovin in Q4 2024 than Meta, and it was a brand new channel. It's never happened before.
Amazing.
And then since then, it's just been an always-on channel. Like I spent over $3 million last year on it, and that wasn't even testing. That's just good results.
It's crazy.
So, I mean, we'll probably spend $5 million this year, $6 million. I mean, who knows, right? It's a more mature channel now, so they have better targeting. It's easier to use, like the creative. I think there's more knowledge and infrastructure built out around AppLovin. Like when we got started, it was like no one had any idea. They never sold any physical goods before, but they've made it way easier for people to use. So it's a mature channel now. Like it's not gonna, the early days it went from $0 to I was spending $2 million a month in Q4 2024. but there's more advertisers now. I still recommend it as a great third channel for anybody. You want to go to Meta first, you want to go to Google after that, and then you want to add AppLovin, TikTok, Snapchat, like all those additional channels. It should be a part of your mix, and it'll be a multi-million-dollar channel for me.
Sean, one thing that I have thought about a lot this year in terms of other places, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so hyped up about opportunities upon the interwebs as they grow and develop. One of the things that I've thought about so much is Whatnot. I've thought about Whatnot a ton just because it's very sweaty. It's very sweaty. And it's probably not the neatest fit for Ridge. I mean, one would think at this point, I would imagine you've got bets placed in so many categories, other places of spending, etc. But I am so excited about it because it is so sweaty. And I feel that there's going to be a significant amount of people that are willing to take the plunge and be on screen. And of course, we've had them on the show and have detailed their results, etc. But with their Shopify integration and all of the things that are happening there now, I feel like John Roman's a great example at BattleBox. I do feel there's a big op here for brands as well. Have you thought about this kind of live commerce development in 2026 very much?
Well, it doesn't surprise me that the live show likes live shopping.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Look, Whatnot is doing something very, very interesting. They're growing very fast. TikTok has this beautiful integration between they have live and they push lives aggressively, but then there's also the shop section, the GMV section. Right now we're gifting a bunch of creators. We get good creative back. Those creators can go live. Those creators can earn commission. We also start boosting those posts as GMV max posts. So we try to get more sales for them, right? We take that creative, we put it into Meta, and that's, I think, really the secret sauce. If you look at live shopping GMV on TikTok, it is still small. I mean, TikTok Shops GMV is 20 billion. That was probably 2 years ago, might be 50 billion now. So that's still small. 50 billion sounds like a lot of money, but you have to think that Amazon does $800 billion in GMV or whatever, right? So there's a lot of GMV to be had. They're growing fast. Whatnot is very interesting. I think they have to add the other sections. They probably have to have a way to get recordings on there, like a short form video feed, the way to actually boost it and add product. You start putting all those things together, because I just don't know how big the actual appetite for live shopping is. I think it's a great channel. New channels are always good. You want to have as many new channels as possible. Whenever there's a new channel, there's new ways to make money. But I want to see a couple more things from Whatnot. They raised a bunch of money. I'm sure it's on the roadmap. They're going to have a short form video feed if they don't already.
Interesting. So you think you think it will go the way of the rest of TikTok and kind of develop the entire ecosystem there and kind of A/B it. I mean, in some ways it'll be a very similar platform, probably different, but you think it'll go this other way to take advantage of the affiliates, etc.
The apps have to have everything. So you can look at YouTube as an example. YouTube has live. People go live on YouTube. It has shorts and then it has playback. What do you think gets the most views? It's normal videos, then short form, then live. And we've watched live only platforms struggle, which is Twitch. Twitch sucks as a platform. Daily active users it's 2 million users. This show will get more users than.
Is it 2 million users? That's shockingly small.
Yeah. Look, I could be wrong. I think it peaked at 10 million active users at one point, and that was during the pandemic. It could be at 5 now. I mean, look, I'm off the cuff. You can fact check this. It's a live show for a reason. But what I'm saying is there's just not that many people. So the actual appetite for live content does exist. It's very interesting and nice to have, but I think apps need to have everything else built around that, right? And TikTok has proved that. TikTok has live. People go live. People watch lives, but then they're immediately back into the feed, watching short form video or on shopping or tying those things together. So
that's an interesting point. Point.
You just brought up YouTube, which I'm a huge fan of, and you guys are a huge fan of at Ridge. You guys work with Marquez, who is one of the best creators on the entire platform. Could you talk about how brands should be approaching those kind of creators in 2026? What does that playbook look like? Because you have a pretty substantial rollout with him, and he's very well integrated within you guys. And so how should other brands who maybe aren't Ridge be approaching this?
Okay, so yeah, we have a very unique relationship with Marquez. I mean, he's a co-owner of Ridge,
which I think is awesome, by the way.
Which is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do products together. He has a board seat. Like, it's very, very integrated. And the average brand would recommend, hey, don't do that, because there's only so many Marquezes, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The actual people on the platform who are iconic, it's 50 to 100. It's like, look, it's a big platform, and there's no joke, a million amazing creators who could help your business and move units and all that type of stuff. But the people like Marquez, like, you can count them on two hands, maybe. So I'd recommend, don't do that unless you're really ready for it. What I'd recommend is, one, start creating content. So I think every brand should have some sort of short form video strategy where you're actually producing content, or you're doing live streams, or you're working with creators who are doing that. So like, make it very integrated. Like, Hudson from Comfort doesn't, go live, but he manages people very closely who do. And I think that's like the beauty of the brand. So brands need to look more and more like content companies going forward. And then once you understand the lingo, then just start sponsoring creators. I mean, I think YouTube is still the most underpriced place to do influencer integrations. Everyone's doing Instagram, everyone's doing TikTok, but we've built our backs on sponsoring YouTubers. It's long form attention. Like,
it's true.
Yeah, very, very hard to get somebody to watch 45 minutes of a video, but Mr. Beast figured it out.
Yeah, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I have often wondered, Sean, in this vein of YouTube. For example, I used to work in the baseball industry. Baseball, brands aren't really there. There's just a couple of creators that really do numbers and are very well respected and are kind of iconic within the travel baseball niche. I always wondered if an up-and-comer, if they could somehow make a deal with somebody like Coach Rack, who we used to work with at Bruce Bolt, who's now become like the face of the Savannah Bananas and such. I always wondered if there could be a way to sweet talk somebody like that to make a bet on you early and be a part of the company. But yeah, it's like you said, it's probably not the move for everyone involved.
Yeah, and you have to, like, look, you're a brand builder. You're not like a talent manager or like an A&R, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we've worked with a lot of creators. Some of them went on to be really famous. Like Theo Von, we were very early sponsor of him.
Were you really?
We were the second sponsor Theo Von had. It was
incredible.
It was a local pizza place, and then it was us, right? And Theo Von has gone on to build an amazing career, and he's super famous. I thought he was really funny, but I thought a lot of people were really funny. And I'm not a talent manager. I couldn't have picked out that he was going to be a superstar, right? So if you have the eye and you can do that, fantastic. But when you start talking about giving away equity or like, long-term deals, like it's really hard to be famous. It's really hard to have the attention and like be a breakout star. That's not the business I'm in.
Well, I mean, Sean, dive into that, because you basically have seen so many creators over the years. What should brands be looking for? What attributes from creators should brands be looking for if they're maybe finding the next Theo Von and trying to avoid maybe not a good creator?
We cut out.
Oh, did we cut out?
I'm back.
Sean's back. He's back with us.
You're back.
Yeah, looking for the next Theo Von. I really don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like when we did the deal with Marquez, he had 18 million subs on YouTube and a decade-long career, right? Or I'm very close with Hexclad. When they did the Gordon Ramsay deal, it was after his 50th TV show. So it's like it's way easier to pick someone who's already made it, and instead of betting on a rising star. Like we're going to do some stuff with Tony Hawk coming out. It's like, he's been famous for 30 years, right? So it's very hard to actually pick, who's going to be up and coming. I just look for people who are making good content you like and are authentic, and just, bet on them as much as you can.
That's why a racehorse is worth more as a stud horse after he's already won the Kentucky Derby. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. Tell me this, Sean. I often think of you out there whenever you're talking about Southern California and, all of the things that are happening in e-commerce. And you've got a great story around, living with 6 some odd people in the same room and selling things on the internet and agency days and all that. I wonder if you were young and hungry again at 17 and a half, 21 and a half, and making your way. I wonder how you would do it all over again. Would you go the same route, just get some young hungry killers and work on the internet together 6-7 days a week and find your way to, how would you do it if you needed to start all over again?
Yeah, if I was young, look, when I was young, I moved to Los Angeles because it was the cheapest big city. And you could live in Los Angeles in Koreatown like I did. And I had an apartment that was like $1,000 a month. Right. And I'm from Seattle where apartments were $2,000 a month. I just couldn't afford to live in Seattle. So
big difference.
I moved to LA. And if I was young again, I would move to, there's 3 cities you should move to. It's like Austin.
Baby.
Miami, or New York City still has a lot of appeal to it. So you want to go there. You want to find other young people who are broke, and I would go all in on short form video creation. And I end up making a short form video agency, right? So I manage creators and influencers and whatever, and AI creative. I would just get amazing at it, and I would find a bunch of brands to pay me money. I'd build an agency all over again. I think you could build an agency doing $2 million a year. Then I'd find a client and I'd roll my agency into the client, and I would be the next Groons and I'd sell it. I'd run it exactly back. But the cultural power is shifting outside of, LA to Austin. If you're going to be young, move to Austin because you can afford to fucking live there.
Come on. Rent's down. Rent's cheap. We overbuilt on purpose. And now we've got room for all the future Sean Franks. That's what I'm saying, Sean.
Yeah, I think you could probably get an apartment in Austin for $1,000 a month, and it's the only major city you can do that. So that's where I'd move and do it all over again.
And the word is out that when SpaceX IPOs, we're going to have some newly minted billionaires here, and apparently this is going to be the next best place to build hardware and all of the things out here. Proto Town and all of the things happening with here. I strongly agree with this thesis, Sean. We need all of the next generation of Sean Franks to come here, and then we all need to go to dinner downtown in Austin together.
Yeah, look, it's a network effect, right? The reason why Silicon Valley or LA or New York were hubs is because other cool people were there, and you want to be around cool people. But when you don't build stuff and you let homeless people light shit on fire, it's okay, well, I'm gonna come.
Not the move, Austin, I guess. Not the move, Sean. You've done so much now. One would think, do we just run Ridge up forever? Do we start selling wallets on the moon? You know what? How long does this thing go, Sean? You ever thought about that?
Yeah, look, we just had our fastest growing month in over 3 years at our scale.
Whoa, so, incredible.
This month we might end the month up 90% year over year, and in a business that's never had a down month.
Seriously, 90% year over year?
It could happen this month, is what I'm saying. So, we continue to grow really fast. Things continue to work for us. So until it stops being fun, I'm going to keep doing it.
I feel that. Be honest, that's how I feel about this show. Go ahead, Colin.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of that is due to the product expansion that you've had. Do you have any more ideas that you're cooking up that you could share with us where you're kind of seeing the next evolution of Ridge now? I think one of the best bets that you guys had was on wedding rings, and also the travel was so amazing. But do you have any more bets that you'd like to kind of go in maybe this next year and maybe possibly future years?
Yeah, look, I think people got. I talk about this publicly. Yeah, the wedding ring business is it's above $30 million a year. It's incredibly profitable, and it's just a bolt-on business. Brand new customers, just very easy to add on.
It's so nice.
What I'll say is, brands got way too precious about protecting who they are, who their customers are, and waiting for permission to go to new categories. We're going to try to be like Shark Ninja. It's whatever. I'm going to try to sell everything. Shark Ninja sells, they got water bottles and blenders and vacuums. And they have no guardrails about what they'll end up selling. So that's what I'm trying to do. Do I have more product ideas? Yeah, look around you. What's in your house? I'm gonna try to sell you.
All those things that you already bought. Now you'll buy it from me.
Go.
I do think, I know that men are classically kind of a tough buy, but I do think, once I get convinced of something that I like, I basically just keep buying it forever.
Yeah.
And if I like a Ridge wallet and I like Ridge suitcases, everybody brags about them on the timeline. Why wouldn't I just keep buying whatever Sean rolls out? I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, look, and the secret of the business is, if you guys are married, or you guys have parents, or you guys have kids, or you have cousins, you have a birthday, you have Christmas, somebody's going to buy you something every single year.
That's right.
You got to make more stuff for gift givers. So
yeah, that's right.
There was a big opening in the market. Is what do you buy 35-year-old men for Christmas? And that's why I made the Ridge wallet, the luggage, everything else we have coming out.
Wow. Well, I tell you what. Sean Frank ever IPOs, I'm buying stock in him personally, and I'm buying stock in Ridge if that ever IPOs either. Not financial advice, of course.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice. But brother, we appreciate you making the time and enjoying having you. And please kiss your new one for us and tell him sweet dreams. And we look forward to having you back someday, big boy.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate the show. I love it how it's done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Boy.
I mean, just pause and think about that for a sec. A bolt-on business that does $30 million a year, that casually is throwing off cash like you wouldn't believe.
Casually.
Like, wouldn't you love to have that? I mean,
yeah. Well, we have someone coming into the show here very soon. He may already be with us right now. I believe he is the one and only Mike Beckham, CEO of Simple Modern, who has sold quite literally every middle-aged mom has sold mini cups to them already. Okay. And now not only is he selling the cups, but he's selling what goes inside the cup. He is selling what goes inside the cup. He is coming into the show. But before he comes, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Rocked Aftersell. Most brands are always focused on the next customer, the new one, aren't they? As they should be. But what if you could just make more money from the purchases you're already getting, the customers who are already crossing the line? That would be nice. Let's say you're doing 5,000 orders per month. If you can add another $3 to $4 to each one of those without touching your ads, that would be quite nice. And that is what Rocked Aftersell does. That's what brands like Olakai, Cozy, Earth, Groove Life are all doing right now with Aftersell, adding post-purchase upsells, downsells, cart through the thank you page, all of the things, and even stacking an extra 30 to 50 cents just by showing them offers from Disney Plus, HelloFresh, Venmo, all the things. High margin revenue, straight to your bottom line. No hit to conversion, no hit to LTV, and you can be live within minutes. If you're already getting orders, make the most out of them. Go to aftersell.com/offers. Start monetizing what you've already built today. Many thanks for Rocked Aftersell being part of the show. Now, we have to bring in what I would just say, one of the most generous men in e-commerce. And I would say that quite forthrightly. He is an Okie from not too far from Muskogee. He is one of the Sooners' favorite sons, and we need to welcome inside of the show Mike Beckham, CEO of Simple Modern. Mike, get inside of here. Let's go. Get inside this show, Mike.
Yeah. What's up? How are we doing, guys?
What an intro. Boy. Yeah.
What an intro. All right.
We got to do it big for you, Mike.
Come on.
I mean, it's not every day we get the next owner of the Oklahoma City Thunder coming inside the show. I mean,
hey, listen, one can dream. One can dream. I have had conversations to try and understand what the price would be.
Yeah.
And let's say I'm going to have to sell a lot more water bottles to do that. NBA franchises are quite expensive these days.
Well, it could be that maybe you get a deal on a new NFL franchise that should be coming to Oklahoma City. I mean, it's worth exploring. But I would say, Mike, for sure you're selling the cups, but I mean, from what I understand now, you're selling what goes inside those cups too. Man, I would love it if you would just give us, for those who don't know, you give us a little origin story on Mike Beckham and brother, what you're doing, not only with Simple Modern now, but what's happening with Trevi and what's going on inside of that cup. Can you give us just a little update on what's going on?
All right, here we go. So I have super weird origin story. I graduated from college in 2003. Even though I was a business major, I went into full-time ministry. I did that for 10 years. And near the end of that, I helped my brother start a company in 2009. So this is like, guys, this is back when there's no Shopify really at that point. Like if you have servers, like you're paying for a cage in Atlanta to keep your servers in. That's the stage. You know, if you have a website, you built it. We started a company, and that company got very big, very fast. It almost $1 billion in revenue. And
did it really, Mike?
And that kind of pulled me into the business world. With my brother, started several other businesses. The most significant, like little Easter egg of that is we started an Amazon business that did things like pillows and comforters and stuff like that. At one point, my brother himself designed this pillow that we ended up calling the Beckham Hotel Collection pillow. And that pillow, I think, is like maybe the best-selling pillow in the world. It's crazy. There are no Beckham hotels. That is just like a creation of ours. But anyway, so did that with my brother for a while. 2015 was like, I think I want to start a company of my own, and had some ideas about just how to do it really differently. You know, focus on generosity, high focus on culture. And so a couple of guys that I had been friends with for a long time, we started Simple Modern. We knew the type of company we wanted to build before we knew what we wanted to sell. Eventually found water bottles, knew immediately, hey, this is product market fit, and have grown that business. It started as an adult drinkware business. Now we do a lot of kids drinkware as well. And we do all kinds of other things within that business. And then about a year and a half ago, I started realizing I've got a lot of talent internally where the company's spitting off cash. And we kind of have a system and a playbook of like what we do really well, which I think, you know, everybody who watches this show, every entrepreneur, you can't do everything and you can't do everything well. But like, if you can kind of know, hey, this is my thing and this is what I do really well. And I have a sense of that. My team has a sense of that. And so we're like, let's do that same playbook, but let's do it with other stuff. And so electrolytes was our second category. It's called Trevi. You should check it out. It's delicious. It's the best tasting electrolytes out there, bar none. And then in the last year, we've launched a third and a fifth coming this summer, and a fifth is coming this fall, like product line. So, which I'm not really ready to talk about what those are, but it's super fun. I love entrepreneurship. It's ironic. I'm following Sean. He's my boy. You know, we spent a lot of hours talking about this stuff on operators and in group chats. So anyway, that's kind of my story.
Mike's getting into peptides. I can already tell. That's
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All natural for right now, until I figure out if they won't give me cancer, and then I'll probably inject them like everybody else.
Fair enough. I didn't know that there was a third already out, Mike.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Trevi. I thought it was just Trevi, and then
we move in silence right now. Like, it's actually like, it's interesting because we were talking about like, hey, how public are we about other brands that we launch and what we're doing and stuff. And I think that I've generally like to be a transparent person. Like, hey, here's all the stuff I'm doing, whatever. Here's what I'm learning. I was probably transparent, like bordering on idiocy with Trevi, because it's like, if this thing blew up, I'm going to look really stupid. But the new stuff, what I've really come to understand is like the risk outweighs the reward, because people know that Simple Modern is successful, and you're just going to get people trying to sue you, people trying to make your life difficult. And so I think we'll probably be a little bit more private with the additional ventures that we launch, but it's super fun because I'm getting to be more of an advisor to a lot of different things now, which I love, because no 2 days look the same. And then obviously I care about trying to help other people be successful. That's why I do the pod and a lot of coaching that I do. So I've got a pretty diversified portfolio of things that I put time towards. But I tweeted this out yesterday, but I really think the best thing that entrepreneurship can give you is high agency, that you get to choose who you work with, you get to choose what you work on. And so like the theme that I want to be true for the rest of my career I don't really care the titles I have. I don't really care how much money I make. Like, I'm just going to give almost all of it away. But like, I want to work on interesting puzzles with people I really enjoy. That's it. And there's a lot of interesting puzzles out there. And I love the fact that like in the things I work on, I get to do it with people that I enjoy being around. And it's like, man, doesn't get any better than that. Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
One of those puzzles that you constantly are tweeting about is OpenClaw and AI. You are surprisingly very involved with OpenClaw and all the experiments and how much time you've already committed to this. Could you talk us through how you're trying to basically apply these to the businesses moving forward and how you see this stuff evolving?
So I want to start with a principle. I see this mistake with entrepreneurs and people in business all the time. You know how you get better at something? It's not by hiring a consultant. It's by doing it. It's by like actually playing with the thing. And you can never like outsource that. Like there's no substitute for like personal experimentation and personal learning. And so interestingly, I've been very much like Kurzweil wrote The Singularity is Near like 20 something years ago. And I was introducing people to that book. So I've been paying attention to this stuff for a long time. But interestingly, as AI has really taken off in the last year, there was a point where I was like, well, I just don't know what the use cases are for me. And maybe at the point in my career where I'm at, like it just doesn't have that much to offer me. And then you know what? I was like, you know what? That's a fixed mindset. That's not a growth mindset. This is a skill issue. I need to figure it out. And that drove me, like it was that day I'm like, I'm downloading. It was called Claudebot or something, whatever at the time, but I'm downloading it and I'm just going to figure it out. And the more that I have used the tools and play with the tools, I think two things are really important about it. One is you start to understand the trajectory that these things are on. Like I can tell you from February to April, like from February to May, like it is drastic. It is shocking, like how much better they're getting. And there's really no way to get a feel for that unless you're actually playing with them and seeing what they can do and seeing how they respond. And like my kind of big takeaway of all this is that to be effective in the AI age, you're going to have to reshape your brain and reshape how you think. And that is very hard to do. We're very resistant to that as humans. And so the hard work, the technology is going to get better and better. So you might say, well, why don't I should just wait. I should just wait 6 months from now, a year from now, it'll be better. I'll do it then. And the problem with that line of thinking I've come to realize is that you can't reshape your brain in, a short period of time. Being able to like fundamentally alter thought processes. So I'll give a really simple example of this. Or I'll use an analogy first. There's quite a few animals that if you put them in a cage and then the fence or whatever is electrified, or maybe it's not electrified, it's just very solid. What that animal will do is it'll go around and it'll kind of test that fence in a bunch of areas. And if it becomes convinced that there's no way out, it'll never test the fence again for the rest of its life because it's decided in its mind, this is a constraint and it's just a immutable law of the universe. And we are the exact same way. The way that even really intelligent people work is they say, what's my goal? What are my constraints? And now I'm going to goal seek to that goal around the constraints. Well, what about a world where the constraints are constantly shifting or being removed? That is actually something we're not very accustomed to thinking about.
Yeah.
So instead, what you have to really start to do is from first principles say, if I could build the ideal business, how would it look and how would it work? And what would be the systems and what would I know? And then you look at the technology and say, what of this can I do today? What of this can I not do yet? And so that's a lot of what I'm doing. And even yesterday, like I've done a lot of building kind of profitability models in my career. I'm kind of an analyst by nature. So I've happened to attack it less from like the advertising angle and more of like the data angle.
Yeah.
And the more that I do it, the more I'm starting to get a vision for how differently things will work in our organization and probably in organizations in general because of what's now possible. It's not even just like, hey, I can automate this thing. It's more like there are levels of granularity and detail and abilities that we just can't do today because of constraints. It's like a really simple example of this. We do a lot of abstraction. So if I say, hey, I want to know how this group of 10,000 people is going to behave, you can say, well, we should look at other groups of 10,000 people that are kind of like them, or we should maybe do a random sampling of this group of 10,000 people, or maybe we'll look at the entire behavior of this group of 10,000 people and just kind of imagine that'll keep going. But the reason we think that way is because you can't say like, I'm going to look at every individual person in that group of 10,000 and kind of project out what they're likely to do. But that's just a constraint that's like, it's kind of a compute resource, like bandwidth constraint.
Yeah.
And the future we're going to is just being able to understand our businesses at so much of a deeper level. Like within Simple Modern, we have all of these ideas that we have about relationships, things that we know are true, but we don't really understand how they work. We just kind of generally, intuitively understand the relationships. And you're going to start to be able to like be a lot more dialed into that. That's like, I really understand this causes this causes this. And even if the world is very complex where, 100 different things are influencing our sales number for a day, or 1,000 or 10,000, that we're going to be able to start to like peel those apart and just have way more insight, which hopefully will lead to running better businesses.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, how can you not be bullish on e-commerce after that?
Well, I am, and I'm, as you've been talking, Mike, it makes me really like reconsider like this whole point that you're making. I'm getting it as you talk. There are limitations that we have self-imposed or from prior experiences that we just throw up and inside of our mind, and will not consider like, is that actually constraint anymore with the tools that I have available? Or how could I get there if I wanted to? What could I leverage to not just like get a general guess about these 10,000 people and how they're going to behave, but actually what data points can I leverage to an infinitesimal amount of granularity to actually show, no, this is how they're going to behave. And it seems like a lot of the work here is to retrain the way that we think so as to like get rid of those blockages that we just naturally throw up inside of our mind. Am I on the right vein here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, what's really exciting is it's true of every area of your life. Like the ability to track out what's going on with my health is obviously going to be orders of magnitude better than at any point in human history, right? The medicine that's coming, the tracking that's coming, the ability to understand, like it's going to be all of a sudden I get to think totally differently about my health and how do I take agency and take ownership of it going forward. I have kids, they're 11 and 14. I can think very differently about parenting and about their education and about helping them to grow into the best version of themselves because of what AI makes possible. So I guess I would say it this way. In a little bit, AI is just like a mirror because its usefulness and your perspective on it is directly a result of your ability to conceptually understand or dream up ways that you might use it. And so there's a lot of people that are like, hey, it's just a stupid chat bot. It's just Google, with a little bit of extra bells and whistles. And it's like, yeah, if you use it like that, that's all it is. But when you start to think about it more as this incredibly powerful, multifaceted tool, and you start to think creatively about, like, what could I do? That's when there's just like some really fun, like this is a really small example, but it's a cool example. We did a new brand video and we were able to, with AI, come up with like a whole bunch of different potential brand kind of songs, brand jingles, and it's like, well, what would that have cost before? And it's like, oh, maybe you get a creative agency and they give you one for $100,000. But now it's like, hey, we can generate 50 options that we like and we can kind of decide which one do we want to use. And we can split test that. Like, there's just 1,000 things like that in our business, but there's things like that. Like one of my favorite things I've seen is there's a mom on Twitter who is homeschooling like 4 or 5 kids. And she just posts about how she's using OpenClaw to homeschool her kids. And it's like, it's great.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Like a really simple example that I haven't built yet, but like an example of this is like, I kind of tell OpenClaw, or I can give OpenClaw, hey, here's my ordering history from Walmart. Here are the types of things I buy. And then, hey, I'm going to, go in and take pictures of my shelves and send it to you and just generate what I need and go order it. Like, these are the kind of things that are going to be more and more common, where there's going to be all of these fun use cases that just make our life a little bit better and a little bit easier. Like this morning, I had a great one. I have a reverse osmosis water filter under my counter, and this is a newer house. Not many things have been problematic, but this thing sucks. This thing has really been a thorn in my side. And so I'm like, I need to quit messing with this thing, and I need to get a really good one. But I'm like, I'm not a plumber. I don't know anything about reverse osmosis. I'm able to snap a bunch of pictures, and I work with one of the models to say, okay, explain exactly what's going on under here. What do you think is the best kind of reverse osmosis filter for my setup? And can you make some recommendations? And it's just like, okay. He's like, it explained, hey, here are the thoughts. Here's what's going on. Here'd be the easiest one when it comes to these aspects and installation. And I'm like, boom, do it. I'm going to install my own reverse osmosis. But it kind of goes back to this idea that, like, if you're high agency, if you're the type, it's kind of like you can just do things, right? Like you can just do like, and so those type of people are now going to be even more powerful, because for a lot of high agency people, there were still these barriers. Like, I'm a really high agency person, but like, I'm not a software developer. Like, I don't have skills in that area. So there's just this very real fence that I can't get past, but now I can. Right. And so anyway, this is why it's so exciting. And I think it's going to be transformative in a bunch of ways we can expect, and in a bunch of ways we would have never guessed.
Okay, Mike, in this vein, and because you have, how many employees at Simple Modern?
About 100.
Okay, wow. You got 100 employees at Simple Modern. You guys are, increasingly launching more brands, etc. You are obviously steeped in the tools themselves, OpenClaw, and you're considering, how people with high agency inside my organization will use this, but also broadly. I'd love your thoughts on, like, what happens to the white collar worker inside of America. I think as we started this year, I was very doomer. I was very, hey, everybody, wake up. Okay. You want to still have a job in a year, in 18 months, like, get into the tools now, etc. But as this year has gone by, and, there's like more software engineer jobs than there were. And as this year has gone by, I'm a little more bullish than I have been, but I'd love your thoughts on what happens to the white collar worker in America.
So I think that my generalized view is this will be net extremely positive. I think it's obviously going to be really disruptive. So I think in the micro, like the next 2 to 5 years, I think we're going to feel real disruption. Like it's kind of like the classic example, like, hey, when you went from horses to automobiles, there were a bunch of people that made buggy whips, or that, whatever, drove carriages, and they felt that. That happens anytime there's some kind of like technological or, revolution in a society. I'm sure it was that way when, the personal computer came out. This is probably just going to be more broad based. So it's going to be very disruptive. And there's going to be some jobs that happen today that just don't really exist in the form that they exist today. However, I think we need to not confuse tasks with jobs. So you've probably read a lot about Jevons paradox, and the basic idea is as something becomes basically more powerful and cheaper, that demand for that thing just explodes. And so, like, we'll use radiology for an example. In the last year, we've gotten to the point where the AI can read a radiology scan even better than a radiologist. And so people are like, well, what does this mean? What does this mean for the future of radiologists? And we can observe what's happening. What's happening is that the number of job openings for radiologists is going up, and they're earning all-time high rates. And so it's like, okay, so why is that? And the answer is actually pretty intuitive once you think about it. The reason why that's happening is because as radiology scans become cheaper and more effective, right, more accurate, what is demand for radiology scans going to do? It's going to go through the roof. Right. And as it goes through the roof, who is the person that's on the other side of scheduling those and administering those safely, and also having a human that's verifying what the AI is telling you, because you do want somebody verifying it. So there will be a lot of tasks that get commoditized And there will be some jobs that are exclusively task-based that get commoditized away. But what you'll find is that really, I think the number of jobs is likely to just grow. And the amount, I mean, you're going to have so many verticals, I think, where they're going to say, we need way more people than we've got, because the technology now makes it possible. We're just not equipped with enough humans to fill all of the use cases that are coming. So it can simultaneously be true, super disruptive in the short term, and there are going to be a lot of people that feel like it moved their cheese. But in the long run, I think, or not even the long run, the intermediate run, the next 5 to 7 years, you're going to see an explosion of new fields. And then you're going to see a bunch of existing fields that just need way more people because the demand for their service has skyrocketed. And this is also, like, generally, if you think about it, this is what's true about economies. Economies are like this big circle where it starts with people want stuff. And so they're, maybe it's food, maybe it's goods, whatever. And so they're motivated to work, and their work, that productivity produces goods and services, which they get money and they get goods and services. And so it's this big loop, right? Well, if it's not every economy grows at the same rate. Why is that? And that's because some loops are way more efficient. And sometimes you can get loops where, GDP grows 5%, 10%, 15%. We've seen this actually in countries. So I think it's very plausible that you start to get a growth rate that's possible because of AI, that actually where the real bottleneck is people. And I would just, if I was going to make another prediction, the prediction would be the second leg of this, that really where things get really weird, but also like where what's possible is just beyond what we could probably imagine over the next 10 or 20 years, is robotics.
Yeah.
Because then it's just like, well, again, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just like not doable today. But but a robot could do it. And there's a whole bunch of, and like, that's a whole like class of like labor and productivity so it's going to get super weird. But if you had bet against humanity and had bet against technological progress at any point, you would have been wrong. And if you look backwards at the labor market, every time there's been a disruption, it's been net positive for the people being disrupted. Like, we were all farmers. Like, like if you look at America, for example, go back to the 1880s, 1890s in America. The average person is a farmer.
Yeah.
Or at least in my part of the country, average person's a farmer, and the average person works 90 to 100 hours a week. Like, so how much better is our life? Yeah. I mean, I'm not a farmer in Oklahoma, but like, how much better is my life than it would have been 130 years ago? Well, it's like quite a bit better. And my guess is that the same is going to be true. And I'll give one final idea here. So knowledge work is basically, I'm looking at information that enables me to make decisions that create value. That's all it is, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of pounding the table on this concept I call RIA, which is, for a knowledge worker to do anything valuable, they have to have a piece of information that fits 3 criteria. First one, has to be relevant, has to kind of pertain to what they do. So I could come across some really interesting information about, whatever, the MBA, but I can't really do anything with it. It has nothing to do with my business selling water bottles. Right. It has to be interesting. And the interesting part basically means it's unexpected in some way, because all the time we look at information, but it's like, well, that number is the exact same as I expected it to be, or the exact same as it was last week. And so do I do anything with it? No, because there's nothing interesting there. Right. And then the third one is actionable. That I have to be able to take that and actually do something, or I can't create the value. So if you think that knowledge work is basically, it's RIA, that's the secret sauce, what you realize is 99% of our week, we're not looking at information that's RIA, because we have to wade through a whole bunch of crap that doesn't matter. Right. Yeah. So here's the real bull case. The real bull case is, what if we spent less and less of our time looking at stuff that truly doesn't matter? Like, or another way of saying it, if you had the perfect ability to separate the signal from the noise, how long would your work week be? Mine might be 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think that's the kind of promise of what might be possible, is that you work when you want to work, not because you need to work a certain numbers of hours a week, and that we get intensely higher amounts of leverage from every hour that we do work. how quickly do we get there? How messy is it between here and there? I don't know, but I think this is where we're headed.
Hope for the knowledge worker from Mike Beckham.
Mike firing us up on a Friday about the hope for the future. I love it.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Mike, I would love to do a little throwback, a little walk down memory lane. You had a tweet, and I don't even know if you remember this. You had a very long tweet a while ago about basically it was time for Mike to be mowing his own lawn now.
Right.
You usually had a guy, and now we are entering the era of Mike mowing his own lawn. I do want to let you know that inspired me in that moment, and I really buckled down and I locked in that because I was like, if Mike's mowing his own lawn, I need to lock in and figure my stuff out. Is it still that era for you? And how are you feeling about that, having gone through that?
So I think what I was trying to say more than anything else as a metaphor is that it is easy to think that as I move on in my career, what that entitles me to is not having to do the hard work anymore. Right. That's for other people. And I'm just going to kind of sit up here and manage and, you know, kind of pontificate. And I think that interestingly, what motivated that tweet was the tariffs. Yeah. And we did have a very, it's kind of incredibly ironic. This year's April was awesome. Last year's April was probably the worst April I had in the entire 11 years running Simple Modern. So they couldn't have been more opposite. But the idea was simply that the way that you respond to challenge is by being high agency and by being like, I'm willing to do the work. And so interestingly, I think tariffs challenged me to really like, you're 10 years into Simple Modern. It's been really successful. You know, companies made a bunch of money, but this is not the time for you to be sitting back and watching other people do the work. Yeah. And I think that was so critical. We just talked about technology and technology disruption. It is just so easy to want to outsource the hard work and outsource the thinking. And I just don't want to be that type of person is really what I determined during that period. And I'm really thankful for it. So, you know, there's nothing against having people mow your yard. I can't do everything, but the idea is if you start to get to the point where you're like, I'm averse to doing the work, you know, or I want to leave that to others, that's a real red flag. And that probably is a sign that you're starting to degrade in your career. Because if you just think about it at a really high level, my ability to lead other people is highly tied to my understanding of what they're working on and my ability to give helpful insights. The moment that I start saying, I'm not going to do the work, my kind of context window for what any of the people that I'm mentoring or leading or doing starts to degrade to the point where I'm not able to actually be that helpful. I mean, I can offer them like general leadership advice, but other than that, I can't really be helpful for them. And it becomes harder and harder for me to actually even spot talent and who's really talented at something. So my advice to everybody listening to this is that you stay hungry. And really this is what growth mindset is like, I'm not competing against anybody else. I'm competing against me. Yeah. And every day, am I willing to put in the work to become a better version of myself? Or am I just, you know, saying, hey, I want comfort? And like I posted a quote last week that was like, my aspiration in life is to be defeated by greater and greater challenges. So all of it, I think, kind of ties in with the same mindset. Yep. So yeah, but I love that. I got a ton of feedback on that tweet, and I think it came at a very key time when I was kind of starting to think I'll let other people do the work and I'll just kind of, you know, be around, but I'll let other people do things. And it helped me to kind of lock in and re-engage.
Wow. Mike Beckham, CEO of Simple Modern and other things coming forth.
We'll find out about
that. We will be watching for, brother. We know you're going to stay locked in, and we hope that you make all of the monies because we know what you're going to do with them, brother. And we appreciate you making the time and coming on here. And thanks for all that you do in the space. And we look forward to having you back now.
Thanks, guys.
Wow. Goated.
I need to lock in.
Absolutely goated. It's time to lock in.
Time to lock in.
If one is not locked in, you must, because Mike Beckham is locked in.
He's
Absolutely, he is locked in.
Are you trying to bet against that? I'm not.
Don't bet against that.
Come on.
Don't bet against Mike Beckham. You don't want to. I know from experience. You play against the Sooners. It's a tall task. You don't want to bet against Mike Beckham.
I'm ready for him to just own the Thunder soon. You know what I mean?
I too am ready. Now, coming into the show, we have Connor and Alan, co-founders of Frozen One.
Let's go.
Perhaps the best protein ice cream. Perhaps just the best ice cream.
Get yoked.
That you have yet to taste. I myself have had it. And I'm
jealous.
I was shocked that it was even like in the health category. it just tasted like excellent ice cream. And then also there's 40 grams of protein and it's like 370 calories for the pint.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just thought it was like normal ice cream. That's how it tastes anyway. Now, I think we have Connor and Alan coming in, which is relevant, Jack, because the overlay that I have prepared is only for Connor. We need to just use the regular overlay for both Connor and Alan. Before they come in here, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Axon by AppLovin. If you're running a D2C brand and you're not on Axon yet, you're leaving money on the table, okay? Axon gets you in front of 1 billion new customers, okay, who are inside the games that everyone loves to play, like Solitaire, Mahjong, Candy Crush, etc. More people play mobile games than you think, okay? We're talking mainstream, financially comfortable household decision makers. I will tell you from my own experience, when Meta was tripping, which we all know, Meta trips every now and again. One of the ways that I helped one of my dear friends, one of my best friends in e-commerce, save the quarter, okay? Get their excellent company back up and to the right and get those green lines moving was by getting them over on Axon. It was very much that simple. We all know that if you push all of your chips in on one platform, it is risky. If you're not on Axon by AppLovin today, you better, because your competitors are moving there. You can scale up to 100K per day in less than a week. Wayfair, Dr. Squatch, all your favorite brands are there. Get on the platform before your competitors do. Go to axon.ai/en/ecom Cowboy. Get on there. Tell them Colin and I sent you. Many thanks for Axon being part of the show. Now, we must welcome Connor and Alan, creators of Frozen One high protein ice cream. Meta's roommates, University of Wisconsin, I heard. Okay.
Go Badgers.
Go Badgers. Go Badgers. Makes you want to jump around a little bit. Okay. Go Badgers. And I think we'll have to get the story from them straight from the horse's mouth, but I think they started with a Ninja Creamy, okay?
Let's go.
And now I think they're in over 700 doors, okay?
Come on.
Q1. Everybody and their mom is throwing money at them, as they should. Target nationwide launch coming very soon. We need to welcome in here Connor and Alan, founders of Frozen One. Get in here, gentlemen.
What is up?
Oh, there we go. There we go. Jack, we need the regular overlay because we got Connor and Alan here now. There we go. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys joining us.
Thanks for having us. We're gonna need that entire write-up that you had previously. We're gonna have to run that as a meta ad pretty soon.
You have all the rights.
You have all the rights.
Fantastic.
All the rights. You want a whitelist, whatever. You guys just let us know. Okay, gentlemen. Now we met at this CPG. Nate Rosen put it together. We met at this CPG gathering. Great gathering, by the way. Way to go, Nate and Joey Spangers. And I tasted this ice cream. I thought it was just regular ice cream. I mean, to me, it's like Haagen-Dazs, all the things. And then, like, I started looking at it. It's like 40 grams of protein, less than 400 calories for the whole pint. Give us the backstory here. I don't know what magic you've worked inside of those
Pure
mixers over there, but give us a backstory. You guys coming together, creating this thing. I mean, and you've brought it to the world now, retail, the interwebs, etc. Give us a backstory on this.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we met, Chris, and we were talking about just kind of why we started doing this product and where it all came. But it was January of 2025, last year. We were just sick of eating the same high protein, chalky protein bars, protein shakes, all that. Both from Wisconsin. Ice cream is pretty big. Dairy is pretty big up there. And we realized that at the time there was no such thing as a high protein ice cream. We spent about 4 months in my kitchen every single night in a Ninja Creamy ice cream machine.
Really?
We did in our 1-bedroom apartment that we use as an office. We still have the OG Ninja Creamy.
Oh my gosh, so loud!
Like at this point, horrible.
Yeah,
had multiple of them like breaking us.
Yeah, we launched in some Austin retailers last year, and now we're nationwide in Target. So go find us in Target. We just launched about a week and a half ago.
Let's go.
There's got to be like some kind of magic that you guys have worked in here. I feel like I'll just say, you know, we've had some great ice cream brands on the show, but
Sure.
What I will say is just from the ice creams that I've had that are healthy-ish, you can tell they're healthy-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is my firm belief when it comes to CPG, when it comes to better for you, that taste has still got to hit. It's got to, you know, Americans we don't want to lose on the taste buds. Okay. We want taste bud factor high. How have you guys done this? I mean, you don't have to give away all the secret sauce, but I mean, there's got to be something different that you're doing.
No question. Like we always say, like, I think by like some alchemy, we found the like truly what I think is the best high protein ice cream formula out there. And there's of course a lot that went into that, but I think it really is just about being religious about product. This is, at the end of the day, we're talking about ice cream here. We're not talking about a protein powder. We're not talking about supplements. It's ice cream at the end of the day, and it has to taste like ice cream. And that was the number one thing that we've just been religious about. Honestly, when we launched last year, like last May, the product was not anywhere near what it is today.
Really?
It was bad. Like, this is,
wow.
I don't know if I should mention this. There was a major nationwide retailer that we brought it to back in like June of last year. And they were like, they gave us some of the harshest feedback.
Whoa.
They were like, I like unequivocally, like the answer is no. They were like, don't ever. But funny enough, that we took that so seriously. And the next 2 months, like June, July, August, was truly just like an R&D fest. And we actually are getting, we sent them samples in January, and they really, really liked it this time.
Let's go.
Actually, we're meeting with them on next Friday.
Yeah.
So
boom, baby, boom.
We're gonna not mention names because I don't want to put anything bad out in the world. I'm gonna knock on wood, but if we could land them, it'd be fantastic.
Wow.
Could you guys show off the pints here? I mean, we got to see this
Yeah,
up close.
Jack,
I mean,
Jack, zoom in here, Jack. We got to see that. We got to see the pints.
So
I think it's so smart that you guys are putting that 40 right there in the smack middle, just to know exactly what's going on. It's so clean.
Thanks so
That's
much.
incredible.
Yeah, the 40 is a great idea. Bring us back, Jack. The 40 is a great idea because you get that when I see it, I realize like 40
Right
grams
there.
of protein in here. Like it does really stand out. I mean, as you guys have been iterating formulas, have you iterated packaging or is this V1?
This is like effectively V1. This is like
wow.
Me and one of my high school buddies, Sam Cotlin, if you're watching out there, we made this packaging together, and we're actually talking to some people about potentially doing a rerun right now, but there's a lot that's working here that we want to stay true to. And yeah, I'm just gonna show off the core flavors. By the way, we got
let's bring us in here, Jack. Bring us in, Jack.
First three ever. We got apple pie, we've got peanut butter, and we've got chocolate. But then the most recent addition to the team, salted caramel crunch.
Oh my gosh!
Exclusive. This just went live like a week and a half ago, and won't reveal anything too much here. But there are 3 new flavors that we've got in the works, and I think that I think those are. Every flavor is better than the last. I think. I truly think like what we have right now is fantastic, but I think the next year that are going to release are significant improvements on our product. Right
Wow. I mean, I imagine you guys are just eating ice cream all day long, just making sure, and which is not a bad job. That's not a bad gig. I'd be very curious how you guys are going to be approaching, going through, product seeding, who you're trying to go after. Are you guys trying to go after the gym bros? Are you guys trying to go after the mom who's maybe trying to lose a couple pounds? Like, who are you trying to go after for this initial push out?
Wow, you've got spot on instincts over there. Like really, like we think we've identified a few different demographics that we really need to win. I think the gym crowd is just like it's a given. You have to, if you're going to become the big winner of this category. I think that's the low hanging fruit. Like it's like you have to win that demographic, no question. But I think our expansion into older moms, that's just we currently think that's a white space for us to go after, and so it's certainly going to be in the plans moving forward.
Well,
I love it.
I think that's super smart because, you know, I'm not a mom, but I am a dad, and I know that, you know, what do I want to do at the end of the day, end of the work day? You know, you got 4 kids, you love them all, give them a big kiss. Took 2 hours to get them in bed. What do I want to do after that? I want to go stuff my face and eat my feelings. That's what I want to do. Now, if I can do that and still like have a healthy lifestyle, now we got a big win. You know, I feel better. Mama feels better because I'm eating something that's serving a healthy lifestyle. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
They can get excited about it. Giving to the kids, they're excited because they got to eat ice cream before bed. Like, there's a
great point.
There's wins all around.
Yeah.
It's a great point. Now, let me ask this. I see the pints. Gentlemen, do we have half gallons? Do we have gallons? Do we have bigger portions coming?
What are we thinking?
There is lots of stuff in the works. We're trying to, you know, I know there's been some competitors on the show, and they might be listening. There's stuff in the works.
All right, we'll take that. We'll take that. Stuff in the works.
That's amazing. I mean, so you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but a couple of weeks ago, you guys just closed a round. I mean, congrats on that. First of all, congrats on closing a round, because some of the investors in that round have invested in Poppy, Olipop, some really insane brands, and you guys are now on that list. How did that make you feel, one? And what was that process like going through fundraising in 2026?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy in the beginning. As soon as we got the Target news in January, we were like, oh, awesome. We're going into 1,500 Target doors.
Crazy.
Wait, we need to raise some serious money.
Like, we were screwed. And we
were like, wait.
We need a lot of ice cream. Yeah.
Production's going to cost $700,000 or whatever. But so Al and I mean, call after call with different, investor VC firm. We finally came across the Angel Group and Supernatural Ventures, their venture arm. They were awesome guys. Chris, Rob, Adam Spriggs. They kind of just loved us in the beginning. They were really excited about our brand, us, the category. And they really swooped in and took care of us. Shout out to them. They've been awesome from the investment standpoint, but just supporting us up to this far. It was really, really exciting moment when we got that. And with their network, and like you said, with the brands that they've backed, it couldn't have gone better from the moment we were in. So having that backing us now going to Target is really exciting.
That's incredible, man. It's huge. It's huge.
It's great for our space too. So good for our space.
It's great for our space. It's incredible for our space. I would imagine, gentlemen, that you've got some. Well, I would imagine anybody that you were looking to raise funds from, once they taste the thing, they're like, we got a winner. We got a humdinger here. We better ring this bell and get on board. But you're to me, it seems like you're riding a wave. You're at the crest of a wave inside of our culture right now, with the effect of GLP-1s, with the Maha movement. Everybody, we're flipping the food pyramid. Everybody wants to eat healthier, healthy-ish, find a better for you option, etc. I mean, do you feel that right now as you're expanding into all these new doors, which I know you want to sell out of instantly? I mean, do you feel that zeitgeist and that cresting wave that you guys are sitting on, sales wise, velocity wise?
No question at all. I think we deserve, of course, we should take some of the credit here, but I think some of the credit for the speed that we've grown at is just like this category is exploding. This is a fantastic category to be in. I think that it has largely come down to execution on who in this category is going to produce the best tasting product. And that's something that from day one, we wanted to make sure that if we knew if we came into the space and we had strong branding and we had awesome macro profile, but if we had the best tasting product, we really saw the writing on the wall that we could go and be the big winner. And we just saw it time and time again last year. So ice cream review season, just for the little like that happens in like Q3, Q4. So that's between like August and October. And
That's wild.
So last year, August through October, we were going to countless. We were literally we're not home at all between August and October. And just like the amount of meetings that we went into and left with a yes and a handshake on the spot, and our brokers were continuously just telling us like, "Hey guys, this is not how it works." Like, it's really rare to leave a meeting with a confirmation handshake on the spot, and just the amount of those that we kept getting, I think, is a testament to the product that we've built and the category, the macro headwinds or tailwinds that are helping us out.
Wild.
I mean, so where are you guys going from here? I mean, for the rest of the year, what is the dream as you progress through this year? Do you guys have, a dream kind of doors that you want to get into, or do you have a dream creator that you would be like, oh my gosh, if we could land them, this would change everything? How do you guys see this progressing for the rest of the year?
It's a great question. I think like door count is obviously so important, and it's definitely something we're focusing on. I think like execution in our current stores. We're at the point now where we are now in over 2,100 doors across the country.
Wow.
Managing those doors and making sure that velocities are where we want them to be is so important. And the really early indicators that we've gotten from our Target data and Wegmans and some other stores, really, really, really encouraging.
Nice.
I think that it's about making sure what we currently have is going fantastic, and then leveraging that data and those insights to pop us into more of those doors. That's really the way that we're looking at it from a sales standpoint. Make sure we are crushing it in our current stores and use that to leverage into the new stores. And I think that kind of to your point of where you're going with, I think like the creator front is an awesome way to drive the top of funnel awareness. So to kind of tie those things together, I think rest of this year, we would love to, like, if there's any like female fun creators, like Sabrina Carpenter has been a name that we feel like an absolute dream. So we're shooting our shot live right now on that.
Cool.
I think if we could,
great pick.
We'd love to go after that sort of demographic. I think there'd be a dream collab there. So Sabrina, if you're watching,
it's a great idea, Sabrina. Yeah, I'll just text her after the show.
Yeah, we appreciate that,
gentlemen. I'll text her and let her know. I think it's a great point, though. I think it's a great point. The right female creator, man, could do a lot. And especially, you guys, mass appeal, the way you're spreading out nationwide. Man, I am more and more impressed with how cheap TV ads are getting specifically.
Sure.
Man, we're talking like $8 CPMs now for some of these TV advertising, both connected and linear. And I think there would be a lot of potential there with the right creator. That makes a ton of sense. Connor, when we met, I don't know if I asked you this or if somebody else did. They're like, where are you guys now? Retail wise, doors wise. And brother, you started naming them off like you were reciting the ABCs. I mean, it was just like, in the Northeast, we're here. In the Southeast, we're here. I don't want to put you on the spot, but it would be impressive if you could do that again, because the way that you did, I was so impressed. I was like, these guys know ball. These guys, they know their game that they're in.
Let's do it. All right, let's start West Coast to East Coast. So West Coast, we got Bristol Farms in LA, Rayleigh's, as well as Nugget Market up in North California. Bunch of independents, Oregon, Washington as well. Moving, we got Central Market here in Texas, United Super.
Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir.
Actually launching in Kroger, Texas next month. And then through the Midwest, we got Heinen's, we've got Bush's, Lunds and Barley's, Kowalski's, Schnucks, Foxtrot, Sendick, Fresh Time. Go more to the East Coast. We got Wegmans, great retailer on the East Coast. Market Basket next month, more Boston.
Oh, let's go Market Basket! Shout out Market Basket, baby! Yes.
And then Target nationwide, Honolulu.
Man. So he's got a photographic memory. That's what it is. I think he's not telling people, and he's got a photographic memory of everything.
I think so. And he's just dreaming ice cream when he sleeps at night. He's thinking about pints, and he's thinking about dots on the map and where they should be and where frozen ones should be positioned. That's so exciting, gentlemen. It's exciting. You've got a humdinger on your plate, and is it available in HEB yet? HEB, are we almost there? Are we coming there? Is it there yet?
It feels like it's right there.
So we truly, this is like our biggest like shot shooting. If anybody from the HEB or anyone on here knows the HEB team, please reach out, because so Central Market, their sister store, we are absolutely crushing in.
Insane.
Yeah. We had like our like rep for there, like they're like, hey, you need to expedite this next order. We've never seen ice cream move off the shelf like this. So we just need the intro and the connect to the HEB team. If anybody out there has got it, we got to make it happen.
The funny thing is that I do have a not a one-to-one, but like next step, like one of my best friends knows, I guess it's like one of the grandsons or great grandsons of the family of the Butts family, Herbert E. Butts, Anyway, maybe we can work something out there, but that's where absolutely it needs to be. I know they're kind of, they're really sister companies, but anyway, for whatever reason, they operate differently. Gentlemen, we're bullish. If this was a stock, we'd buy, but we're definitely going to be buying our pints. And man, we appreciate you guys making the time and coming on the show. And I think we all need to go to Target and get these bad boys.
Yeah.
And we need to eat them up till kingdom come and look good and sexy while we do it.
Thank you so much, guys. This was incredible. This is so cool. Y'all are amazing interviewers. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all joining it. We're great, man. I don't know why all of the innovation is just like bottled up in CPG, man. I'm impressed more than ever. It's like all the time, all of the innovation, for whatever reason, the brain trust just flocks to CPG.
Yeah. I mean, the 4 flavors that they were talking about there, I'm starving right now thinking about those. I mean,
caramel crunch, baby.
Caramel crunch. Give me all those. Give me all the caramel crunches, because I'll take them out.
And the good news is, like, let's just say you go and buy all 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's say you eat all 4 pints,
which I'll do,
for your daily calories.
There you go.
Let's just say. I mean, so what am I going to end up with? I'm going to end up with 160 grams of protein. Great.
Yeah.
And what? I'm walking out the door with like 1,600 calories. Like I haven't even hit my 2,100 or whatever limit for the day.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Isn't that bananas?
That's unbelievable to like actually conceptualize that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like would it be out of the question to do frozen one breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Like, no, it wouldn't be out of the question to say like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert. What am I eating the entire day?
All 4.
I'm eating a pint of frozen one at each. Yeah. Like that's like totally not out of the question.
That's wild. I love that so much. That's all yes for me.
And then mix in a little greens, so I can get my greens,
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's crazy. And each one of those is a different flavor too. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, all different flavors. You could change it up.
It's wild. Well, here we reiterate our offer. Gentlemen, feel free to cut this 7 ways from Sunday and run it up to the moon. You want to use those intros, all those points. You use it. And I think the same thing for all the brands that come on here. If we can be a use with this content and support, and hey, actually, I got a great email from Artemis. You remember the beef sticks, the liver,
Absolutely.
And you remember those? Boy, I was eating them up. They actually made a video from our interview, and they're gonna like post it and run it up and tag us. I told them like make it an ad, like do whatever you want with it.
Yeah,
they were great. They were great. I don't know why. So much innovation in CPG. It really is phenomenal.
One of the hardest spaces, though. I will say that it is one of the hardest spaces to get into, and so it is not for the faint of heart.
Maybe that's what like forces the innovation, is that it's like so hard. So you really got to do something special to stand out.
Yeah.
I still want to try Kim Kardashian's update or paraxanthine drink.
Oh, paraxanthine. Yeah, well, I've had it.
I know you've had it. It seems like a great idea to me.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's basically kind of like caffeine. You know what I mean?
But it's supposed to be like better caffeine, right?
I mean, it's like kind of just like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? It's just like all feels the same. It's just kind of was like, you know what I mean? Your body doesn't is like, oh, cool, this is caffeine.
Well, you know, in this vein, Conor McGregor is releasing a patented peptide that is supposed to be like infinite energy. It's like the new form of caffeine, the new form of paraxanthine or whatever it's called. Conor McGregor is releasing like a drink of some sort, I think, that has some kind of peptide that he has patented that is supposed to be like forever energy or something like this. I know I'm butchering it, but this is like the theme of it.
Yeah, that scares me to death. I mean, I'm all bullish on.
You're like Mr. Peptide.
Yeah, but like forever energy sounds like something that shouldn't be good for your human body.
I mean, maybe I made that up. Maybe I made the forever energy part up.
I think you're right, because he's got some crazy branding, and I'm not sure if I fully trust what Conor McGregor's selling.
If he's selling a left hook or a counter or a counter punch, I'm buying.
Yeah, God,
I'm buying.
I was listening to his interviews yesterday about when he was like, the Irish are back. Never bet against the Irish. The Irish own New York City.
Yeah.
You just get fired up. You're like, this guy. I love this guy.
Yeah. Yes. That's why everybody wants to see him back in UFC, and they want to see him win one more time, because like they just love that whatever's bottled up.
It's so good.
That Irish never bet against the Irish. The
Irish
own City. They own New York City.
It's crazy.
Cheers to our friends at Frozen One and the unique things that they are doing inside of our space. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward to our stories of the day, before we get there, let's talk about Seguno. Seguno, ladies and gentlemen, is the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. What does that mean, Chris? It means that your reviews, your banners, your emails, all of that is already there where you work and play every day. And you don't have to seed, you don't have to trust big email and their over-attributed data. Your Shopify data is your data with Seguno. This is a big reason why they won the 2024 Shopify Build App of the Year. Email, your Shopify data are one-click automations, actual humans that can help you. They've just released the advanced Shopify segmentation playbook. Get that at the URL below. Go test drive, free trial, test drive the platform. Tell them, Colin, I sent you. They'll extend that free trial to 30 days. Many thanks for Seguno being part of the show. Now, Shein is being sued by the state of Texas. It is official. Yeah. There's no if, ands, or buts. When it comes to Lululemon, the reports that we got are they are investigating Lululemon. When it comes to Shein, the reports that we have is that the state of Texas is suing them. This post comes to us from the Oasis Health app, which we have covered before. It reads products and somehow gets you the information and how healthy or not it is for you. This tweet from the Oasis Health app says, Shein's clothes are so toxic that the state of Texas is suing them. Lab testing found PFAS, that's the forever chemicals, at 3,300x the EU limit in 7 jackets. There's no federal US limit, but there's 3,300 times the EU limit of forever chemicals inside of 7 other jackets. Phthalates at up to 428x the legal limit. This is for children's shoes and accessories. Formaldehyde, toxic VOC. Don't know what VOC stands for here. Until lawsuits and legislation force big clothing to change. And I mean, I do agree. Until lawsuits and legislation force big clothing to change, find natural fiber clothes free of toxic dyes, coatings, and treatments on the Oasis app. And I, to be honest, I hope that we do have more healthy clothing for us if genuinely we are being affected by the clothes that we wear. And it seems to be the case that we are. The readout for the Shein seamless knit crop top and flared pants, gray here on a 1 to 100 scale is a 1, meaning it's horrible. Health risks, 10. Sustainable materials, 0. Plastic leaching, yes. It's literally the lowest rating that one can have on the Oasis Health app. This got 1.1 million views yesterday. Thoughts from you, Colin, on this?
Yeah, Chris. I mean, I'm one of the most free market guys you can ever find. I am, make the product, just do things, push it out there, go as fast as possible, scale it to the moon. There is some point where legislation and these types of legal laws have to come inside of here to actually pull this company back and put some guardrails on what they're actually pushing out there, because I think it's starting to become a little bit toxic and poisonous to the people that are actually wearing the product, which is a terrible thing to say. You are basically poisoning your own customers who are supporting your brand, and at a very aggressive rate. I mean, the EU is one of those examples where they have put some guardrails in place, and they've put some, hey, these are the fundamentals that we're going to live by for the standards for this type of product category. I think the US needs to start finally buttoning down and putting some of these in place, even though we are, the land of the free, the home of the brave, all opportunity. There is some health implications here that we need to start to talk about.
Yeah, we just don't want to be land of the sick.
Exactly.
And if we're killing ourselves, either with the coffee that we're drinking, like our good friend Caleb Sloop from Seek has pointed out, or if we're killing ourselves with the chic clothing that we're wearing, not good.
Not good.
I genuinely think if one can find a way, I don't know who's doing this. I don't know who can do it. I don't know if it can be done, but like Mike Beckham would point out, probably anything's possible. Remove the limitations. Let's see what AI and us can do together. If anyone can make yoga pants out of natural fibers, and like, not only will you sell like a gazillion dollars worth, but you probably do your consumer a lot better. Where there's smoke, there's fire, at least sometimes. And I think there's a reason why the state of Texas is investigating Lululemon. Great brand. Haven't been doing so well as of late, but incredible brand and business. I still remember when they were first selling for like $300 a pop in Westlake of Austin, and they were everything any woman with a pulse could buy here in Central Texas. And if one can genuinely make the same or a similar product using natural fibers that actually doesn't harm one's health, I'm sure there will be more investigation and research that comes to bear. But if one can do that, there's a huge opportunity.
I mean, Chris, just putting my media buyer hat on, if I'm a natural fiber company, I'm cooking up some us versus them ads.
Yeah.
And I'm putting that screenshot of Oasis on the right side.
Definitely.
And saying them, and then I'm putting us, and it is natural fiber, all of that. I bet you that would rip. That would rip.
It would rip. It would rip. Somebody's got to make a better cup of coffee. You got to make a better yoga pant. Find a way. Find a way. It'll be interesting to see how this develops. I don't really know, how does a state sue a foreign company? I mean, isn't Shein from China?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works either. That sounds like a nightmare of legislation.
We should ask our friend Rob Friend, see if he has any leads for us. Northbeam weather report has come to us, and we have a few pieces of information here. Number one, media buyer index for the past week. This tweet actually comes to us from Jason Smith, Jason SMYS at Jason. He's commenting here, AppLovin looks solid this week on Northbeam data. I would say even more. There are many platforms that are looking incredible here, especially Axon, AppLovin. He says, I wonder if the model improvements described a few weeks ago have been noticeable by Ecomm advertisers. Well, the results here are definitely noticeable. Everybody is up nearly on every category except for Pinterest. Now, this is the last week of April. We're going to get more information from Northbeam here, what's happened over the past month. Not everything that happened in April is so rosy, but the past week here for media buying has been. Keep us here. Bring us back, Jack. Meta, Google, TikTok up 11% conversion rate. Bring us back, Jack, to the other graphic. YouTube up 11% conversion rate. ROAS plus 20%. Microsoft, let's go Bing. Let's go Bing. Bing plus 7% conversion rate plus ROAS. Snapchat plus 16% conversion rate plus 5% ROAS. I mean, kind of crazy.
I mean, Microsoft is going to be your Toyota Prius of your budget share for your media. It's not cool. It's not fun. It's there. Hey, it's there. It's gonna get you there. Okay. It'll get you there. It's not going to be flashy. People aren't going to be staring at you, but hey, it'll get you there. It'll hold 1%, 2%, 3% of your budget, and it's up over 7%.
I'm particularly surprised by TikTok, YouTube, Axon, and Snapchat's. All of their conversion rates are up double percentage points. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Axon up 14% on conversion rate. Like, why wouldn't I give some of my money there? Snapchat up 16%. YouTube and TikTok up 11%. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, Snapchat is really standing out for me. 16% is absolutely banana sandwich. And then ROAS is up almost 6% for Snapchat. I mean,
yeah, crazy.
Pretty crazy things to think about. And we're not saying to put all of your budget into these apps. We're not saying to dump 100% of your budget and go crazy with it. You need to start experimenting with 1%, 2%, 3% of your budget and start to see if it's a profitable channel. Great example. We had Sean on the show just today talk about the fact that AppLovin is now going to be a $5 million lion's share of his business.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Significant.
That's significant.
Absolutely significant. Report on the entire month of April. Next tweet, Jack. This comes to us via Northbeam, the media buyer, April 2026. And I'd like to click on these graphics here, Jack, so the good people can see them. Spend climbed, but efficiency slipped. Okay. Next graphic here, Jack. Spend grew plus 9.6%. Revenue grew plus 4%. The gap shows up in efficiency. You hate to see this, but I think April, the story that's coming out here is that April was hard for a lot of people. Not what you want to see. Even though we had the positives toward the end of the month last week, that the previous tweet we surfaced here showed, for the whole of the month, rough.
Ooh,
CAC.
New CAC up basically 10%.
Oh!
Brutal.
Spend up 10%. New CAC up 10%.
Brutal numbers.
Rough. Brutal numbers. Next, who was it roughest upon? Jack, show us this next graphic, if you would. This comes to us from Northbeam. The $500,000 sweet spot is what I'm looking at. Wrong tweet, Jack. We're on the same tweet, but I'm looking at the next graphic here for spend tiers. And this is the $500,000 sweet spot. I'm just going to start describing. Yes. Less than $50,000 per month. Less than minus 15% year over year in revenue. Golly. Everybody's up. Everybody's up. If you're spending more than $50,000 per month, 50 to 100, you're up 2%. 100 to 200, you're up 4%. 200 to 500, this is spend here, you're up 6%. 500 to $1 million, you spending 500 to $1 million per month in advertising, you're up 18%. Who's getting hurt?
The little guy.
The little guy.
What it sounds like is once you hit a certain revenue target, you can basically absorb these micro month-to-month kind of pullbacks because you are so big where you are almost, not invulnerable from them, but you kind of don't feel them as much anymore because you're probably diversified enough at that point out of everything.
Yes. The little guy is getting hit the most. If you're spending less than 50K per month, then April was hardest on you. And we remember you fondly, and we pour one out for you. One has to keep growing. You got to find a way forward. Natty CAC, perhaps the natty CAC term comes into conversation here, finding a way into your business to be able to absorb and spend more, even though it is more expensive in general. Yeah. Next graphic here, AOV bans, premium brands bought their growth. Low AOV brands held the line. Again here, if you're less than $50, negative 9% revenue year over year, not good. If you're above 150, especially if you're above 500, lots of green lines for you. My question is like, how many of us are in a plus $500 AOV situation?
That's a tight window of brands.
That's a tight window.
There's not a lot, but there is a lot of brands right under that window of those two, where it is the 100 to I'd call it $300. There's a lot of brands in that meat of the window, and I would basically say you need to be figuring out bundles left and right to try to get into that window.
Yeah. K-shaped economy continues to play out, not only for the consumer, but for brands serving them as well. Now, as we move forward to our, wait, we've got one more tweet. We've got one more tweet here from Brian.
Yeah, come on.
That's right. Brian Bumgardner had this to say. May, he means April, but he says May here. He means April. This is a summary. April was terrible for SMBs, especially in D2C and e-com. Looking at Northbeam aggregated April data compared year over year, businesses making under 10 mil a year spent a lot more than others, but saw horrible decreases in MER and CAC with paltry revenue returns. To nobody's surprise, CAC got more expensive for all types of businesses, but iconic 100 million plus businesses mostly dodged the pain. In tough economic environments, consumers buy what they know. Disruptors can't break in when there's no disposable income. Full report forthcoming. What numbers do you want to see? Anything stand out to you here? He made some good points.
Look at that $100 million line. You are reaching that level where you basically can absorb all of these micro pullbacks, and you are so big that you can basically kind of just weather the storm of these micro problems. Also, congratulations to Brian on your wedding today. Congrats on that.
Let's go, Brian.
Congrats on getting married and being a husband now. Congrats to you, my man.
Let's go, Brian. And he makes some good points. 100 million plus. If you're iconic and wallets are tight, people are going to go to you. And I mean, that's borne out in the data. CAC for 100 million plus actually improved.
Crazy.
Down 4%. Whereas others, especially the $5 to $10 million range, plus 17%. That hurts.
Yeah. That's rough.
That's why you gotta get on new platforms. Take Sean Frank's wisdom and advice. New platform, get on there. There's arbitrage to be had. As we move forward to our lightning round of stories to wrap up the show and wrap up this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Incense. Don't we all want better ads? Yeah, we do. We do. We want better ads. We'd actually like humans to be involved as well, humans who are good at what they do, but we all know this process is disjointed, chasing creators, manually negotiating usage rights, etc. It's a headache. That's why Incense exists. It is the all-in-one UGC and influencer marketing platform, vetted creator marketplace, automated influencer outreach, built-in campaign management, content delivered in as little as 14 days. So much better than just finding a rando TikTok and hoping it changes the trajectory of your biz. We're talking about real relationships, real creators. Get the UGC Playbook 2.0 scrolling across at the URL on the screen. Spoiler alert, Andromeda is a good thing, and it's going to tell you what the path forward is. It is modular UGC. Go to incense.pro, test drive the platform for free. Tell them Colin and I sent you. Many thanks for Incense being part of the show. Now, a little location-based algo sauce for us here in the lightning round from our good friend Alex Garcia over at Only Sweat Equity, at Only Sweat Equity, Sweat Equity Podcast. I think there's some good stuff for us here that I'd like to pick up. I think very few of us, especially in e-commerce, think location-based. But there's something here that I'd like for us to listen to Alex say. Jack, if you will back this video up to the start and let's hear him.
So
let's hear him talk.
I think on the Nike side, or you could even look at like Bandit or like Leon's Bagels, etc. You've got to create accounts for different locations.
Mm-hmm.
So again, location-based algorithms are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw how much stuff I sent you post New York was just because my feed and algorithm was nothing but New York because we were in New York.
Yeah.
Right. And like we were posting stuff in New York, and all of a sudden my feed that's all it was. And so the algorithms are extremely, extremely good. So what you do have to do is like you have to create a location-based account tailored to the customer base in that city. So I think about like this, where two parts. If you want to make that location a hotbed, like having that separate account kind of can create that feeling. And so I look at Bandit. Bandit just launched a location in Chicago.
Yes.
That needs to have its own account.
Oh,
Well, now like
100%.
Brooklyn needs to be its own.
And they
account.
even, if you looked at their in-store launch, they had images of like the original like Home Alone, like stills with the logo on it, which is
Awesome.
very like they're very good at coming into a space and saying we are here for Chicago.
Yeah.
But that needs to translate into a digital experience.
Agreed.
Social.
Agreed. Big time. So I think creating a separate account on locations is huge.
Interesting. Interesting, is it not?
I'm going to be so honest. I would not have thought about this. This is true operator bars. I would say the one thing I would try to figure out, and I don't know how to do it, and he touched on it there, is when I was in New York City, I started to get the New York City feed. How do you do that if you're out of the city itself? So how do I, in Charlotte, get the New York City feed so that I can interact with that community still? If someone nails that and gives up product for that so that you can basically be in a bunch of different cities at once and feel like you're everywhere in each city, that's a lot of money to be made.
Yeah, that's a good question that you bring up. I don't have the answer. You know, maybe brands that are like launching retail spaces or are from these various places or have offices in these places, you know, maybe there's a way for them to naturally do that because they have people there. But I find it very interesting. And, you know, he makes a good point. I get, when I'm on TikTok, I get all kinds of local stuff that I'm not even looking for, but it comes up. And if your brand like naturally can serve or win in a specific area, like why not like take, you know, your top 3, 5, you know, biggest winning area codes, zip codes, where are they, what metro areas, you know, do they live in, and then like create some unique social accounts behind that. I find that fascinating. I think there's got to be something there. And he mentioned, you know, example of this like cheese shop or something. I can't remember what he was talking about, but it's like low views, but people would come in and reference it. It was like, I saw you, because they're in the local feed. It drives feet, drives customers. I think there's something for operators to consider. Next, product design is not dead, and I want to get your take on this incredible new product that has hit the interwebs. Jack, if you would bring this up. This is a belt buckle that unfolds into a beverage container, a beverage holder.
I love it.
And the writing here says, "Stop buying stupid stuff." 40. It shows somebody laughing, buying all these belt buckles that hold your beverage of choice, be it non-alcoholic or alcoholic. I do think that this is a great idea, and I think that somebody could run with this thing and like run up a big revenue number. There's like so many examples of like quote stupid ideas like this that people laugh at, that they will buy and like wear to the barbecue and use forever. I actually think this is a great idea. What do you think about this?
A kid in my fraternity had one of these. And and he was like super famous for it because he would just whip it out at parties. So like this has been around for a minute.
Has it been around for a while? I thought this was brand new.
I mean, it may be to you because of your feed, but like, yeah, one of the kids in my fraternities had this. It was kind of like his party trick where he would just like have a beer and then he would also have a second always right there, just rocking.
Right. That way you don't have to be double fisted.
Exactly. It's just
have one, put the other in your belt buckle.
Run it up.
Kind of Batman-esque, you know?
Yeah.
You always got all those cool gadgets. Very Dark Knight-ish, but also, you know, 40s dad or retired frat boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Next on the product ideation, product design, this tweet comes to us from Kevin Espiritu, the plant daddy. I did not know that this product existed either. You're shaking your head as if you are aware of it already. Are you?
No, but this product should be $1 billion company.
I totally think it could be. Kevin says, friends sent me this sourdough sidekick. Automatically manages your sourdough starter so well that you can apparently have a specific amount of starter ready at a day/time of your choosing. I almost don't want it to work because I'm going to be making more of it if it does. And, you know, you see the product here. It's got the starter. It'll get it mixed up. I don't know if it's like dropping flour in on top of it. And it's automated. There's like a screen here where you can see in progress 1 day, 11 hours, done at 8 a.m. I want something like this to exist because I want to have freshly baked sourdough at my house, but I've tried to do it and I always forget the starter thing and it's confusing. And I want it to be automated. I want it to be stupid simple, and then I can put it in the oven. Like that's what I want to happen. And it seems like this thing gets me down the road. You like this?
I love this because this breaks down the barrier to entry for people that actually want to get involved with this. Because exactly what you just said, it's really intimidating. Sometimes you end up forgetting. This is fun because it makes it more available to more people. And it makes it kind of like, okay, cool. I got a foolproof method in order to do this thing. And so I absolutely love this. This should be $1 billion company.
Should be. Sourdough to the moon. Organic sourdough made at the house, formulated with my hands.
Yes.
To the moon. Amazon news, more Amazon news. Credit cards gone again. First they were gone, then they were now they're back. Credit cards are gone again. This comes to us from John Elder. Mega breaking Amazon news. Seeing this on some of my clients' accounts. Amazon to cease accepting credit cards. At first this was going to happen, then it wasn't, then they waited, now it's happening again. Starting August 1st, 2026, Amazon, in their generosity, is offering a $2,500 per month credit for 5 months afterwards to help. Hey, I'll take that. If you're going to take my credit card points away, if you're going to take my credit card away, I will take a little help for as long as you'll give it to me. Are you one of the lucky few? And then he's got a screenshot here notifying, hey, more changes to the platform. Things are going to get a little tighter for you. We'll give you a little help if you need it over the next 5 months. Thoughts on this?
So disappointing. I mean, we had Sean on the show yesterday, and he constantly talked about the fact that how not merchant friendly Amazon is being and has been for the last several years to merchants. This is another ding on top of all of that, where it's just like, hey, can you cut us a break for a sec and give us something back that helps our business? I hate to see this. This is not fun. You want to see the credit card points. We all love the credit card points. This is not cool. This is not fun.
Give me the points and help me float my costs. I will say, interesting of note, and perhaps you guys covered this yesterday. Amazon's cash flow is like way lower than it's ever been.
Yeah,
and
I think this is why.
And maybe, maybe this is why. I think they've been investing in AI like crazy. It's like
crazy.
Every free dollar they can extend, they're giving to AI, and maybe this is why they're saying we don't want those credit card charges anymore. Just give us cash. Just give us cash, please. Hate to see it. Hate to see it.
Not good.
But it is our new world. Last story of the day. Heavenly Drip is here.
Let's go.
The Pope is officially rocking Nikes. The Pope, who comes from Chicago, Pope Leo the 14th, Pope Leo the 14th, rocking Nikes with his clerical vestments. You can see, I don't know what kind of Nikes those are, but he is definitely rocking the Nikes. And some great comments on this. Christopher Hale made a little graphic. Next tweet, Jack. Christopher Hale made this graphic. New papal motto just dropped, just believe. And he's dunking with those sick Nikes in his papal vestments. And next week, Michael Brandt, from which I derived this terminology, heavenly drip. Michael Brandt, founder of Ketone IQ, says he got that heavenly drip. My question for you, Colin, is this purposeful product placement? We just had the Adidas commercial that came out for the World Cup. Everybody was drooling on the timeline. Another big L for Nike, another big dub for Adidas. Is this a little purposeful product placement in view of the World Cup coming to North America? Now Pope from North America rocking the Nikes. We just had, what's her name? Shakira. Is though she's the World Cup singer again. The hype train is on, and Nike inserting themselves with a little papal commercial product placement. Do you think so?
I don't think this was purposeful, but I will say this right now. After this, the Nike team needs to reach out to the Pope. They need to reach out to the Vatican.
Yeah.
And I'm so serious about this.
Yes.
They should do a campaign around him.
They should.
And I am dead serious about this. I'm dead serious. The state at which Nike is in right now, they need to go for a shot like this. I'm so serious about it because there's clout that you can get from actors and actresses and influencers.
How about the religious leader of the largest religion on planet Earth? How about that?
How about that kind of clout? And if you are not on the phone clanging and banging, or you're sending Nike execs to the Vatican right now, I don't know what you're doing. You're not a serious company.
It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot.
It is.
I think that he's going to decline. That's my guess.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't. And this is exactly why he shouldn't. Because they should do all of his proceeds go to a fundraising angle, and it pushes back to a great narrative. And he says, I'm not going to be making any money from this. This is going to go to this charity or this type of angle. And then they do an entire holy campaign around him. Heavenly campaign. I love this.
That's fair. That's fair. What would the title be? Perhaps Heavenly Drip.
There's so many you can do here.
Just believe it. I don't know. But I would say it would be interesting. It would be interesting.
And that's what they need right now.
Wow. They got a call on the Pope, huh? They need to campaign with the Pope.
Can you imagine the new marketing kid? And he's like, hey, I think we're doing a campaign with the Pope. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like his first week there. He's just like, he's beside himself.
His Holiness and His Holiness and Nike collab. It would be very interesting. And, Oren John is always for interesting things as creative director.
His Holiness has a request about the colorway that you could style him in.
I think it's going to be some combo of white, scarlet, gold, purple. I mean,
cream,
I think it's what it's going to be.
It has to be
some mix of that. Well, we'll see if the Nike execs heed your advice and they get on with the Vatican. We shall see.
Call them up.
We shall see. As we wrap today and the week, I think it's time for a little mailbag. I've got something that the good people need to see. But it is meant for both of us.
I don't have anything.
It is meant for both of us. That's okay. That's okay.
Right.
You're at a new location. You're not in your usual spot.
Yeah.
You can pull something off the wall.
Yeah.
And no, I'm kidding. But just a little something for the good people. Number one, how about some golf balls? These are Intelligence golf balls.
Let's go.
The Big Swings is what it's called. You got a dime. No, it says take big swings.
You should.
On the golf balls. I think worthwhile, especially in the vein of A/B testing on your website. Finding more profit per session, more revenue per session, as one is ought to do. Why not take a few big swings?
I love it.
Some golf balls from Intelligence. I would also say this big package. This is for
What is that?
This is for the both of us, and we got a little Postscript swag here. A little Postscript swag. One is BFCM. Next is Postscript, but with the swirly Postscript. You ever seen the swirly Postscript?
Mm-mm.
That's new. Little new swag here. Some dad hat action. Little bottle. This is for you while you're at the lake. Clean canteen.
I love it.
Sipping with AI Shopper as AI Shopper makes you all of the monies. Next, how about a little of this guy? What do you call this? We got Bub here on, but what do you call this glass? I mean, it's like a specific kind of glass.
Like a Guinness glass?
I think so. Guinness glass. Guinness glass with alt color Bub on it. Okay.
Love it.
Got one for you. Still in its packaging. And then what else do we have here? A little of that guy. Keep you warm.
Let's go.
bub to keep you warm at night when you know, maybe you're a little cold. Maybe you're still in the office during DFCM, like our friends on the Skeptic series were.
There you go.
You're still tucked away. You haven't even left the office. You need to stay warm. What are you going to put on? You're going to put on a little bub action from Postscript. Many thanks to our friends being part of the show. I shall put this to good use this week.
Amazing.
And congrats to them on finishing out an incredible series.
Let's go. Great series.
Great series. Looking forward to season 2. We need season 2.
Yeah.
And we humbly offer our services again. And whatever series maybe.
I'll act.
Yeah, I know you will.
I'm ready.
I know you're ready.
I'm sad I didn't get the call. You got the call.
Well, who knows what will happen in season 2. That's the thing. That's why you got to stay tuned. Like, who knows what will happen with Fizzy Soda in season 2. Many thanks to Sean Frank coming on the show, making time in his busy schedule. Many thanks to Mike Beckham, just dropping like AI knowledge predictions even.
Yeah.
Hope for the knowledge worker, I would say.
Yeah.
And who knew, like, he was so goated on the OpenClaw.
Yeah.
And many thanks to Connor and Alan of Frozen One for joining us. Many thanks to Incense, Seguno, Postscript, Rocked, Aftersell, and Axon by AppLovin for making the show possible. Colin, last words for you before we head to the weekend.
It's the weekend, folks. You got to go outside and touch some grass for sure.
Worthwhile to touch some grass. Hopefully eat some good grass-fed beef. That's what I would recommend. That's my recommendation. Either that or find your way to a nice, steamy, cheesy plate of enchiladas. It is Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be releasing all kinds of content over the weekend. Stay tuned. Excellent weekend watches headed your way. We will be back next week. We already got a full guest lineup of people coming next week. So
let's go.
Stay locked in. We will be here for you, bringing what's now and next in e-commerce so that you can survive and thrive. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the other side.